Hello everyone, my name is Shubhajit and today we will be discussing the 11th video of the useState problem solving series, which is swapping the two form fields. Let me show you what we have on the UI and then we can come on the code side and resolve the issue. Okay, so as you are able to see, we have a first name input element, then we have a last name input element, and then we have a checkbox which actually reverses them. So if you see, when it is a normal order, first name and then last name. When I check this reverse order thing, then last name comes above, but first name comes below. Okay, let's say Shubhajit and Adhikari, first name and last name. Okay, so when I click this reverse order, what is happening? This last name goes above, this first name comes down. But are you able to see that the content inside these text boxes are in the same order? This is the issue. The content should also reverse their positions. So the last name should be coming here, that is Adhikari, and the first name should be coming here, that is Shubhajit should be present here. And this issue we have to resolve. I hope you have understood what the issue is. Now let's get into the solution. As you're able to see, we have this swap form fields as the main component. Then we have a state variable which is initially set to false. This reverse state variable actually tells us either the reverse state is true or false. If the reverse is true, it means the last name should come above and first name should come below. If the reverse state is false, the first name should be above and the last name should be below. Okay, so I am storing the checkbox UI inside uh, this checkbox variable. This is a normal variable, okay, which has an input element and the text reverse order. This is basically this part, this last line, okay, a checkbox and a reverse order. So input type is equals to checkbox we have, and checked is equals to reverse. So based on this reverse state variable, we will be like based on whatever input we type, based on whatever input we made inside this checkbox, this reverse state variable changes. Okay, whenever this reverse state variable changes, this whole UI is rendered. Okay, so let's see what happens if reverse is true. Whenever reverse is true, then we will do, we will have two fields and we have one checkbox. If the reverse is false, we have two fields and we have one checkbox. You will say, what is the difference? Can you see the label? It's the last name and then the first name. If reverse is true, that is that is what intended, right? That is what is intended. First name and then last name. If reverse is false, that is we should not reverse it. It's normal. That is first name and last name. If it is reverse, then last name then first name, as it's here. If reverse is true. Okay, I have understood this. If you have seen the 10th problem of the useState problem solving series, you might have encountered the same if and else type of structure, but there the issue was we have different number of elements inside these if else statements, and that's why where the issue is coming. But here we have the same number of elements, so that is not the actual concern. The actual concern lies in the part that whenever we are reversing the order, whenever the UI is changing from this to this, or from the bottom one to the top one, whenever the reverse value changes, there is a change in UI between these two parts. Okay, either this part or this part. Okay, this you have understood. But here if you see inside the field component, first the last name goes and then the first name goes. Here the first name goes and then the last name goes. But but how React sees the things internally, that you have to understand. Please hear me clearly from now, because a lot of concepts will be covered here. So how React sees it? Okay, let me show you the UI. Let me refresh it. Okay, so on the first name Shubhajit and on the last name Adhikari. Okay, so Shubhajit Adhikari I am typing. What I have typed? In the first part Shivajit, in the second part Adhikari. Now whenever I reverse it, the Shivajit and Adhikari position remains the same, but this labels change because we are actually reversing the labels. Okay, now I will be able to put my point very clearly that what React does, React has set the first fields. If you see the field, we have text, the text use state variable, and then we have an input uh, type is equals to text field where we have value is equals to text and placeholder whatever label we have passed, and on change handler. This is a typical example of a two-way data binding input element which is handled with the help of state. So whatever the input value we type here, it will be synced with the text state variable which we have, that will be stored in the text state variable. That is the like that is the only thing which you need to understand here, and if you have seen my previous videos you will be able to better understand this. Okay, so what I was saying is, to the first filled component, this first position field component, what React is doing, it has actually set the state to Shubhajit. Okay, to the second field component, it has actually set the state to Adhikari. Now, it doesn't matter if we change the label of them, label order in these two statements, either here or here. The React knows that these two are field elements only. So for the first field, it is Shivajit. For the second field, it is Adhikari. It doesn't matter its label is either first name or last name. So that is why they are not changing their positions here. So our aim should be how we will make React understand that this field is different from this field. Okay, these two fields are different and they are uniquely identified by something. If you have actually used map in React, whenever we have an array of something and we want to show it on the UI with the help of a list, to each of these list elements we try to give a key. This key will help us to identify uniquely same type of components with different with different uniqueness, or what you will say, with different identity. So in the first part, if I give the key as this is the last name, right? So last name, and here the key as uh, first name. Okay, first name. Okay, so we should understand, okay, this field is the last name, this field is the first name. Now here, control C, this is the first name, so the key is first name, this is the last name, so the key is last name. Now you should understand that what is actually happening here. Now this field is named with a last name key and this field is named with a first name key. Now you should understand that with the key is equals to first name, the state variable Shubhajit is tied now. With the key is equals to last name, the state variable Adhikari is entitled now. Now whenever we reverse the keys here as from last name and then first name, here first name then last name, the state variables will also reverse on the UI. Okay, so if I refresh it and if I type Shubhajit Adhikari and I reverse this order, can you see? Can you see what is happening? With the first name is there. With the last name is there. Even with changing the order, the input elements are all changing the order. So this is a very typical example where keys are required in React. Okay, now some of them might be thinking, and if they are coming from the 10th video, they might be thinking, okay, if it is a good practice to keep all the return statements inside a single, all the UI in the single return statement, we can do that. it will become a little bit more code in these inside these field elements, but we can definitely do that. I will also show you that. But if you are able to understand that key is required here, you are well enough knowledgeable now and you are good to go. Okay, now for those who want a better version of this, who want only in single these three lines, our return statement, our UI should be perfectly rendered with the reverse thing happening, and we don't need this if reverse or whatever. Okay, if we take it in that way, we have to incorporate this reverse inside this label part. So I will put this inside curly braces to write some JavaScript code. So I will check key if the reverse is true. If the reverse is true, then I will show the last name, else I will show the first name. Okay, this first field is clear. But key is not always last name. Key will also depend on the reverse state variable. Let's wrap it inside the curly braces. Dollar is not required. Okay, we are not using template literals. We are just using normal strings. So again, okay, spelling mistakes happening again and again. We will check if the reverse is true, then I will show the last name, else I will show the first name key. Okay, then the same thing happening here. Okay, some repetition is going on. So if reverse is true, then first name will be shown for the second field and last name here, and same goes here. Key, some copy pasting going on here. Please bear with me. So I will reverse this part, first name and then last name. If you are not able to understand, just look at it for some time, just see what I have written, and you will definitely be able to understand what I'm doing. uh, I have basically put this if else block inside, not this, I have basically put this if else block inside the same condition, that if reverse condition is actually checked with the help of a reverse in the conditional statement here, and then the key also is checked here. So what we are doing, if the reverse is true, if the reverse is true, then last name will be shown as the label for the first field, and first name will be shown as if reverse is false. Okay, and key also, if reverse is true, then last name, else first name. Now for the second field, if the reverse, that goes just as opposite of this field. So if reverse is true, then first name will be shown, because as reverse is true, then it means it is the last name thing and this is the first name thing. It's first name, else last name. Key, reverse is true. This is the first name thing, so this will be the last name thing. Okay, that you have to understand. Okay, so if reverse is true, if reverse is true, then this is the last name thing and this is the first name thing. Sorry, I might have confused you a little bit. If reverse is true, then this is the last name thing and this is the first name thing. This you should understand. Okay, so first name, that's how it goes. Okay, so you will see the priority here is last name based on reverse. The priority here is first name based on reverse value. Okay, because this field is dedicated based on the value of reverse. If it is reverse true, then last name. If reverse false, then it is first name. Okay, hope you have understood this. And now this UI should work. Let's see. Let me refresh this. Shubhajit, Adhikari, and reverse order. Cool, this is working. But I would suggest that you should not, like, better do the previous version only where we have two return statements. For this one where we have the same number of components, because This part is a bit confusing for those who are early learners in React, and this might be time taking to understand. So if you understood the first one, then you can ignore this part. It will come with practice and as you go on giving more time to React. So I hope the video, what I have presented, you have understood it fully. If you don't understand it, please watch it again. If you have any doubts, put in the comment section. I will be really happy to help. Thank you guys for watching this. Bye bye.